doeth somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord, concerning things which ought not to be done, and he be guilty, or if his sin, which he hath sinned,
he said he'll still be guilty. Hey, how you doing, my brother? Hey, come check out this sign right here. Where you see yourself on this sign? It said Judah. All right, let me get Isaiah 1 and 3. Because before you walked up here, right, have you ever known yourself to be known as a Judite? Or from the tribe of Judah or the nation of Israel? Never, right? What do you go by as a nationality? African American. All right, African and American is named as two different white men, and plus it's two different continents. Can we come from two different continents? And can we come from two different white men? We can't, right? Showing you what? We don't really know who we are.
Right.
Watch what the Bible says about us. Read.
The book of Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
It said the ox know his owner, right? And the ass his master's crib. An ox is a cow, and the ass is a donkey. So an ox know who his God is, and the ass know his homeland. Think about this. Where is our homeland today? Say what now? It said Africa. That's a continent with over 50 plus countries. So what country in Africa are we from?
They are involved in this.
Say what now? He said Nigeria. Now you gotta understand, the Israelites were spread out throughout the whole world. But watch this.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know.
See that? He said, but Israel does not know. The so-called blessed in Spanish, we don't know who we really are. Now see, we take a picture of these signs, right? Now think about this right here. At what point in time did this happen to you? When did this happen to us? So you say you're from the tribe of Judah, so you understand the so-called American. Say you're from the tribe of Judah, right? So you understand the so-called American Black history, right? So at what point in time did this happen to us? Right. So how did we get to this land? Slave ships, right? Did you believe that's in the Bible? Say what now? You say the general over here said as much. But do you believe that? All praise. Watch this. Deuteronomy. Because we're going to paint a picture for you, all right? Because you understand that what? In the 1600s, we were the ones in the cotton fields, we were the ones with the chains around our neck, and we said we came here on what? On slave ships. And that's in the Bible. It only happened to one nation of people. And who? That's who? That's the Israelites. Not that so-called African American. Think about it. Who gave us that name? Huh? He did. The so-called white man, which is Esau according to the Bible.
Right.
But read what you got.
Yeah. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. Yeah. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
So Moses back then, when we came out of the land of Egypt, right? When he split the Red Sea, he told the children of Israel, if you don't listen and keep God's commandments, this is what's going to happen to you. Read on.
And his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said, all these curses are going to come upon thee and overtake thee. Give me verse 68. This is how we know that the Bible is our history book. It's more than just a white man book, right? It's more than just a religious book. The Bible is our history book, the Israelite history book. Right. Nobody else can say they went through what the Bible speaks of. All right, watch this.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, all right, watch this. He said, I'm going to bring thee into Egypt again, right? When we was in Egypt the first time, are you familiar with the Bible? All right. What was the children of Israel doing in Egypt the first time? Huh? Slaves.
Right.
Slaves. So when we read Egypt right here, that means it's talking about slavery. Because we walked out of Egypt the first time, right? And Moses split the Red Sea. All right, now watch this. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now, he said, I'm going to bring you into slavery again, but this time you're going on ships. How did we get to America? Right. Right, you're exactly right. We came from the west coast of Africa on what? On slave ships, right? Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
And he said, how plain I'm saying, you're never going to see your homeland ever again.
Right.
Because when we came here, did we ever go back as a nation of people? We didn't, right? We came over here and we stayed over here. Watch this.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Sold unto our who?
Sold unto your enemies.
So, what nation of people was we sold to once we got here? Okay, you said English, Dutch, French. Under what category they fall under? Right. So what, the Caucasian, right? So-called white man, right? That's Esau according to the Bible. What God called them? Read it again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Now think about it. Who are we sold to? We were sold as bondmen, as slave men, and slave women to our enemies. The white man is your enemy. That's what the Bible says. That's what God says. Read on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And it said, no man shall buy you. All right, watch this. Let me get Joel 3:3. Because we got to understand, when it comes to the Bible, this is our true history book. Think about it like this. When we came over here, it was two things we were not allowed to do. And what is that? We couldn't read and we couldn't write. It was actually a law in itself. So what? If you find a male slave reading or writing, you're supposed to kill that male.
Right.
Why is that? They don't ever want you to find. Have you ever seen the book of movie Birth of a Nation? You seen that movie, right? What did Nat Turner do? Say what? One more time. He was taught to read, and after he started reading, what happened? Right. He realized what would happen to his people, and he did not like it.
Right.
Now that's exactly what's happening on today. We can read today, so we can go through the Bible and find out our own history.
Right.
We don't have to wait for somebody to give it to us. Watch this.
Book of Joel chapter 3 and verse 3.
Yeah.
And they have cast lots for my people.
He said they have cast lots for my people. All right. You know what they're going into? I said, do you know what it's going into? He said they cast lots for my people. Think about it. This right here. Read it again.
And they have cast lots for my people.
When it said, hey, nigga sold to Master Johnson. That's them casting lots for his people.
Right.
Read.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot.
It said they gave a boy for a harlot. Think about this. When you have the biggest and strongest slave in the field, right? You know what they did to him? Huh? Yeah, they broke him, but what else? They bred him like a dog. You know how you breed dogs? They say, you know what? I want more slaves like that one. So what they gonna do? They had that male slave sleep with with the women slave, right? They didn't care if it was his mama, his auntie, his grandmother. They didn't care about that. They made us lay around with their own people, right? And what they bred that boy made him a harlot. Read.
And sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
They said sold a girl for wine so they can drink. What you think they did to our sisters?
Bring it out.
Huh? They raped them. They did whatever they wanted to do with our sisters. And what could we do about it at that time? We couldn't do not a damn thing about it.
Right.
We had no might in our hands. But watch this.
And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine?
So when it says Tyre and Zidon, it's going to what? The Africans. And it's to the coast of Palestine. That's going to the Arabians. Think about this. When you was younger, you ever heard the phrase, like, you know what it says, hey, Africans sold Africans to the white man? Hold that. Let me get Leviticus 11, Exodus 11:7.
Bring it out.
Because that's not true. It said, "O Tyre and Zidon." Those are the Africans. Those are Africans right there. The African instead of African into slavery. The African sold who? The Israelites into slavery. Okay, it's a difference. We might look the same. We might have the dark skin complexion, but it's a difference between us and them. Watch this.
The book of Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
All right, so he said against any of the children of Israel. So when you look at this sign, you got your brothers where? In Jamaica, in Haiti, in Puerto Rico, in Cuba, Guatemala, all them. Those are your brothers and sisters. These are the children of Israel. He said against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue. When he said dog, it's talking about another nation. Watch this.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doth put a difference.
It said the Lord put a difference. Okay, you can find out the Lord put a difference between, right? Watch this.
Between the Egyptians and Israel.
He said, he put a difference between the Egyptians and the Africans and the Israelites. So it wasn't Africans selling Africans into slavery. It was the Africans selling the Israelites into slavery.
Right.
That's what we got to understand in the first place. We've been taught lies ever since we got brought over here on those slave ships. Joel
chapter 3, verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine?
Well, the Africans and the Arabians, right? Watch this.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense.
God is saying, are you going to pay me back for what you did? I'm going to pay you back for what you did regardless, right? Watch this.
Swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Right.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
We are God's silver, God's people, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. We are his silver and we his gold. Watch this.
And have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem.
Think about it. You say the children of Judah. That's the same tribe you from, right? So your people. He said y'all took my people, right? Watch this.
And the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Who are the Grecians?
Bring it out.
The Greeks. Who else? Right. He said Romans. That's correct. That's correct. We got Greeks, Romans, and today, United States of America.
That's right.
Right. So you gotta understand, we got sold into who? The Europeans, the so-called white men, which is Esau according to the Bible.
Right.
This is our history in the Bible. But what? They never gonna teach you this. You know why? Let me get Proverbs 23:7. Because what? If they keep you at a slave mentality, would you ever rise above and help your people? You won't, right? Say what? You won't know. Right. So they think about our school system. They make sure we get the less of the education. They make sure that when it comes to our neighborhoods, it's drugs there, it's poverty there. They make sure they make sure we got cut off everything, right? Watch this.
Book of Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7.
Bring it out.
For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
He said, as the man thinketh in his heart, showing you what? His heart is mine. So as you think in your heart, so are you. So if you walk around saying, I'm an African American, you will never rise to the occasion what God wants you to be like.
Right.
God said you are Israelite, and the Israelites are the best nation to ever walk this earth today.
Right.
And we can prove that. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Bring it out.
And this is our history. All we're doing is going through the Bible showing you what? Hey, my brother, you better than being African American. African American named after two different white men. Think about it. When they took over Africa, he named the whole country after himself. The white man did. When he came over here, he named the whole country after himself. The white man did that. And that's what the Bible says they do as well. And we can show you that. But read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
He said, thou art a holy people. Who is that thou? 21. Say it again. Judah. All right. It's more than, you're not wrong, but it's more than one tribe. If we one nation, but it's 12 tribes.
Right.
All right. You got so-called African Americans. You got Jamaicans, but we're the same people. From the tribe of Judah, and they from the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
Same people. But read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1.
Yeah.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Unto all who?
Unto all Israel.
All right, go back to chapter 7, verse 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So when he says thou in the book of Deuteronomy, who is he talking to? Right, he's talking to the nation of Israel. He said, hey, you are a holy people unto the Lord thy God. And when he say holy, meaning what? And you divided, you separate from everybody else. God don't treat us the same. God only deal with us anyway. Watch this.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
He did what?
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
You gotta understand that. He chose you, my brother. He chose you and your people, the 12 tribes of Israel. Watch this.
To be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
What did that just tell you? All right, one more time. All right, one more time.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So what did that just say? Huh? All right, and we are in chosen people. And he said we're above every other nation on the planet Earth today.
Right.
So meaning what? If God said we are chosen and he wanted to be above every other nation, it's a requirement behind that. It's some things that we must do. Like, let me all get Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. This is our whole purpose on the earth today. Guys, think about this. We went into slavery because what? We broke his commandments. When Moses brought us out of Egypt, he said, look, you don't keep God's commandments, you're going back into slavery again, and this time you're going on ships. Think about it. When we came here, we never left. What? We still in slavery. This is not our homeland. This is actually hell. Right. Think about it. When you put on the TV and your people are still continually dying, think about the coronavirus. The race is going up, but who's the main target? Right. African Americans, Hispanics, and Native Indians as well. It's talking to them. And if you're underlying a condition, which they do, if they don't follow the dietary law according to the Bible, they are in the worst condition anyway.
Right.
So we are constantly dying because what? We don't keep these commandments. Think about our brothers and sisters in Central America. When they got the storms down there, and they done lost all their homes. They got people dying. Showing you what? If we don't keep these commandments, we're not going to make it.
That's right.
Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments.
He said the conclusion of the whole matter. The reason why you got put on this earth today is to do what? Read that last part again.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
So to fear God and keep his commandments. So you know what happens if you don't? Say it again. He said death. What kind of death though? Okay, we think, just death. When people think, okay, if somebody passed away, you know how they say, oh, rest in peace. They think they can live in peace all day, they're going to rest in peace all, forever, right? After they die. But it's the second death. We don't understand that. That's what God says. Huh? Right, right. So you understand a little bit. That's a judgment. It's a judgment. So if you're not conducting yourself the right way as you got a chance while you're on this earth today, what's going to happen to you in that day?
Bring it up.
Huh? You're going to die in that second death. Do you want that, my brother? So what must you do? Say it again. You said keep the commandments of God. All praise, and that's correct. You must keep the commandments of God. Look at 1 Kings 8:46. Because you're right. You got a fire? All our information on the back of that flyer. YouTube, Facebook, everything. Instagram page, all that. Make sure you reach out to us. If you got any questions, let us know. Because you only got, before you leave, I'm going to read this to you. Deuteronomy 30 and 19. Because it was no coincidence that you came up here and that you find this out about yourself, about your people. God, now he's recording this day against you. He's going to put you to the test. It's up to you if you're going to pass or fail. Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
He said, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. What's your name, bro? Huh? Devin, Hezekiah. Nice to meet you, man. He said, I record heaven and earth. Heaven and earth to record this day against you. Read it again.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
He said, I set before you life and death. The life is what? The commandments of God. And death is that judgment for not keeping the commandments.
All right.
Read.
Blessing and cursing.
Blessing and cursing. At one point in time, we wasn't always in slavery. At one point in time, we were ruling the earth. We had all nations paying us taxes. Think about that. You probably can't even think about it right now because you always, before you know it, every time you get paid, they taking tax money out your check, right? Every year you gotta pay your taxes on, right? Right. At one point in time, the other nation had to pay us taxes.
Right.
At one point in time, we didn't have to work. Think about that. We gotta wake up in the morning and you like, man, I'm tired. When I go to work, they on my tail. When I go to work, I'm working for my enemies. You know they don't like you. At one point in time, we were running the earth. It said blessing and cursing. The curse is what? Us in the United States today. We gotta wake up and work 9 to 5, barely getting by. We gotta see our people getting gunned down in the streets. With us under the prison system, that's that curse right there.
Right.
This is not. It ain't nothing blessed about this country. So we'll steady down. But read.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
He said choose life, so you and your seed, meaning your children, right? So y'all can live. So you're supposed to be an example to your children,
right?
An example to your neighbor. If you're not walking the right path, how you gonna teach the next man?
That's all right.
Huh? You can't do it. You gotta get your life together, my brother. The God called you. He called you today. Matter of fact, Proverbs 8 and 4. He called you today, so you gotta get your life right. You gotta get your life right according to the Bible. All right? It's the last scripture before I let you go, all right? Watch this.
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call.
You see that? He said, unto you, O men. He called the men. Because what? Who gonna lead our nations? The men. So what? If we're not in our right minds, what's gonna happen to our nation? It's gonna fall apart. Think about the household. When you take the man out of the black household, what happens to the children? Huh? They're lost. Now they into what? They into gang violence. They start to have sex at an early age. Now they're teenagers and they're pregnant. Think about that. And it's a continual cycle. And it gets worse and worse as the generation.
Right.
Think about this. When you gotta think about going to the store and some gang member run up on you, right? You don't have to worry about the elder brother doing that to you. You gotta worry about the young brothers now. Because what? The fathers are not in the household. That's why he called the men. He called the men to rise up. Now that's what you gotta do. So this day forward, what must you do? Say what? Rise up and do what? Rise up and keep the commandments.
That's right.
I'm gonna show you one commandment. I'm gonna show you number 15. I'm gonna show you one commandment that you see every brother out here keeping, right? And your fringes. God said keep fringes on your clothes. You can be put to death for not keeping fringes on your clothes. That's a simple commandment, but our people don't know that.
Right.
You start doing that, and you be an example to your brothers and your sisters in your neighborhood, right? Or just out in the world. You're like, you know what? I like what you're doing. What is that about? You know what? Hey, God calls the Israelites. I'm just keeping the commandments, and you must do the same thing. what you think we're doing to you right now? That's exactly what we do, because you are our brother and we care about you.
Right.
That's true love. But watch this.
Book of Numbers chapter 15, verse 38.
Yep.
Speak unto the children of Israel,
Unto the children of Israel, the 12 tribes. Read.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
He said, command them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. Meaning what? That's forever. That's how long we gotta have fringes on our clothing.
Right.
But read.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Check this out. We got ribbons of blue upon our fringes. This is not a fashion. We keep God's commandments.
That's right.
We didn't just wake up and say, you know what, I'm gonna put fringes on my clothes. We heard the Bible say, look, you gotta put fringes on your clothing, or what? If you don't, you will die. That's why he say, hey, look, life or death, blessing or curses. Therefore, choose life. We choose these commandments. You know.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
Think about it. He said it's gonna be upon you for a fringe, so you can look upon it and remember all the commandments.
Right.
Think about this. Think about when you go out and about, right? And you might see one of your sisters really dressed in an immodest way, right? She got the tight skin tight clothing on. When you finna think crazy, because according to Matthew 5:27, when you look at the sister, when you imagine like evil thoughts like what I can do to the sister, you already committed adultery with that sister already in your mind. So what? These fringes are a reminder for you to what? Keep the rest of the commandments. So when you see that sister, she dressed immodest because she just doing what the world doing, right? When you see that, you're gonna look down at your friends like, you know what? I can't look at my sister like this.
Right.
She don't know what she's doing right now. She's supposed to be wearing she's supposed to be wearing a dress like the Bible is saying, and she's supposed to be in modest clothing. Now doing what? Not giving that sexual attraction to herself. But our sisters don't do that today. Every time you go out, our sisters make sure they got the tightest things on ever, right? Read.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a-whoring.
He said, so you're gonna look upon it and do them, and not seek after your own eyes and go a-whoring. That's why we at the bottom of the bottom today, because we don't do these things.
Right.
All right.
To scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us a spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.